Welcome to the deep dive. We often picture modern farming, especially things like indoor vertical farms, as just super efficient.
It's the peak of control.
Exactly. But it's surprising, even in those really controlled environments, waste is becoming, a significant challenge.
It really is.
So today, we're going to dive into something called EcoSense. It's described as your farm's decision support system. And our mission for this short deep dive is pretty simple. Let's figure out how this EcoSense helps modern farmers deal with these newer issues, like this unexpected waste problem in, advanced farming setups.
Yeah, it's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? The whole idea is control means less waste, but the reality seems a bit different.
How so?
Well, our sources show that modern food production, even indoors, it still faces a lot of unpredictability, and that leads to some pretty substantial losses.
Losses like actual crop loss.
Yeah, we're talking numbers as high as, believe it or not, 40% crop loss in some indoor farms, often down to things like maintenance slip-ups or just not quite nailing the yield management.
40%? Wow. So waste isn't just an outdoor farming problem anymore.
Not at all. It highlights that these challenges, they follow us indoors too.
Right. And the sources point to some reasons why. Like the sheer time farmers spend just collecting data by hand. It's around 1,400 hours a year for smaller farms.
It's a huge time sink, yeah, under 1,000 square meters even.
Imagine the room for error there, or just missing something crucial. And without that real-time picture, growers are often reacting after the fact, right? After a disease or pest has already shown up.
Exactly, playing catch up.
So what's EcoSense doing about this? What's the core solution?
Well, what's really interesting is how EcoSense tackles that need for better information and quicker reactions head on.
Okay.
It's basically built to give farmers this constant, really detailed stream of insights, both about the environment, temperature, humidity, but also the plants themselves.
How does it get that information?
Through a network of sensors. They have these things called water nodes. They check the nutrient mix, water temp, critical stuff that wastes resources if it's off. Then air nodes track, air temperature, humidity, CO2, lake quality, all big factors for plant health.
You mentioned the plants themselves.
Yeah, camera nodes. They provide visual data, essentially looking at every single crop pixel, as they put it, for really detailed analysis of how things are growing and spotting problems early.
Okay, so a constant flood of data from water nodes, air nodes, camera nodes. But, raw data on its own doesn't stop waste, does it?
No, absolutely not. That's just the input.
So how does EcoSense turn all that info into something, practical for a farmer? Steps they can actually take?
Right. That's where the smart analysis part kicks in.
Yeah.
EcoSense processes all that data 24/7.
Constantly checking.
Constantly. By watching each crop through those camera nodes, looking at the visuals in detail, it can spot really subtle changes. Things that might mean stress or disease way earlier than a person might notice. And then the system pushes out reports and alerts. There's a dashboard, easy to use. It shows current readings, warns if things go outside the optimal ranges.
Standard stuff maybe, but what else?
But crucially, it also provides predictive insights. It might flag potential future problems, like saying, hey, based on these climate trends inside your farm, the risk of disease X is going up.
So it's not just your humidity is high, it's more like...
Exactly. It's more like, look, the humidity's been creeping up, and based on our data, that could lead to conditions perfect for powdery mildew. Maybe think about adjusting ventilation.
That kind of foresight. That seems like it would be invaluable for preventing waste before it even happens.
That's precisely the goal. Proactive intervention, not reactive treatment, which should significantly cut down potential losses.
The materials also mention something called IVA, the Intelligent Virtual Agronomist. How does that fit into reducing waste?
Right, IVA. Think of it as a continuously learning assistant. It takes all the data from the EcoSense nodes right from the start and keeps refining its understanding.
So it gets smarter over time.
Exactly. And by doing that, it helps head off potential problems before they grow into actual waste. It's like having an expert constantly looking over your shoulder, catching the subtle signs, and warning you about risks to your crops and resources.
It really sounds like EcoSense is about shifting farming decisions, moving away from just gut feeling or experience alone.
Supplementing that intuition.
And towards making choices based on objective, hard data, which lets farmers manage resources better, tackle threats proactively, boost their yield, and ultimately cut down on those surprising waste streams, even indoors.
You've got it. It empowers them with insight. And connecting this to the bigger picture, what's pretty neat is that EcoSense isn't just for one type of crop. No, it's designed to work with leafy greens, fruits, tomatoes, but also more niche things like algae cultivation.
So pretty versatile then.
Very. It suggests that lots of different modern farms, whatever they're growing in their controlled environments, could potentially use this to cut waste and just run more efficiently.
So wrapping this part up, EcoSense seems to offer a clear path for modern farmers, definitely including those in controlled environment agriculture, to get those crucial insights they need, to optimize how they run things, and ultimately achieve less waste and more efficient practices overall.
Precisely. Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you listening. Think about where else in our modern lives, maybe in areas we think are already super optimized, could this kind of real-time data analysis and, intelligence system approach be used to find and minimize waste we don't even realize is happening? Something to chew on.